Hi Virgo, and welcome to your February 2021 reading. Um, for this month, I picked a card from our Earth Magic deck, or two cards. Can't really see it though, honestly, lighting's not good. And our Vice Versa Tarot, which they have pictures on both sides. So, y'all received Shaman. This is ancient healing wisdom. So you see how like deep and compassionate the eyes, like you can see right into his eyes. I know this lighting stinks, my bad, but this is very old man. You could tell by his wrinkles he's old. He's full of wisdom. He's full of, one who knows. He witnessed, vision, spirit, suffering, joy, and he knows the rings. This goes back to like our primary assignment is to discern and to maintain balance. So the human community takes from the earth, and what they get back, like this is their thing. So when we're out of balance, out of whack, then usually our health is something's wrong with our health. So in shaman ways, if we're off balance, they do whatever it takes to fix it, to come back to balance, to restore it. And to them, balance equals healing. So shamans live life in ceremony and treats. So they treat everything with reverence. Even if you go to say they were going to pick some parsley or onion, garlic, whatever, they would ask the plant, is it okay if I take from you? And then when they do take from the plant, then they will say thank you. And everything they do is with respect to the animals, respect to the land, respect to other people. It's respect for everything. So, they are like, they work with the spirits and like spirit helpers, like in between. So they like give messages from the divine. I was just saying in the last message too that you can too become a shaman. Whatever you can to speak that, they have wisdom and knowledge, but who's to say that you can't search that wisdom and knowledge. So one of the shaman's priorities for relieving suffering, this is like first and foremost that first they fix the spiritual wound, and then everything else will follow. That there is like some kind of wound or imbalance between Virgo and the spirit, or the source, or God, or whatever you want to call the unseen realm of divinity, that there's some kind of imbalance. So everything we need to heal ourselves was within our reach. I mean, now not so much, considering all the building and everything that's been covered. It's not here for us anymore, but we can still find these things. Like, what I'm trying to say is that everything we needed was provided for us here on earth. Well, we don't need medications, we don't need television, technology, we don't need any of these things that they came and put on top of the things that we need. So, we want to keep that in mind, that the same fruits and things that grow near us is what we need and is going to benefit us more so than things that are far away. That goes, it's the same for, I'm recording. Is everything okay? I'm in the middle of recording.
He's just yelling for you to make him something.
All right. So everything, what was I at? Okay, so I was going to say, just like the fruits that are in, okay, so apples grow in fall, right? So apples have certain things inside them to defeat what bacteria grows or what illnesses come in fall. Apples help and give our body what we need during this time. Just like the same fruits for the seasons, that they grow for the seasons, and we need them fruits for that season that they grow. I hope y'all understand that. But we eradicated everything. We polluted everything, basically. All the waters, all the land, everything. So we need to somehow get back to that. And know that we can use holistic or ancient healing or alternative medicine. We can use that, like crystal magic, herbs, and like St. John's wort is very good for keeping your mood stabilized. And it's very good for females for around their period too. Your period's coming, so a week beforehand start taking St. John's wort. It's very good. So back to the shamans. So shamans see and feel the intimate connection between all that is, like the thread of life, the consciousness, the beauty, and everything that surrounds, and the power that's in life. So maybe you want to get a book on native plants or native healing, or like herbal healing. Look up on crystals and see how they heal. Everything that was here is for a purpose. Like God put it here for a purpose for us. So we want to thank God, and then the rain god, sun god, Ra. They say, I guess they have there's so many gods. So they would thank all the gods. And yeah, so many things we take for granted, guys. So just be sure to be thankful for even the sun and its warmth. Just be thankful. All of our illnesses stem from the illness with the spirit. So, so it could be, some kind of like psychic intrusions or ancestral karma or any other kind of spiritual causes that could be contributing to this condition, that we feel like maybe we've definitely asked for help. So the deepest spiritual wound is the illusion of being separated from God or the Creator or from the Spirit. So I want you to know that we are never separated from the Spirit. Every is with us, is inside of us. Like we are gods, lowercase g gods. So you, me, everybody together creates one big God. So that's what I believe anyway. So this is basically saying it's now time for deep healing. for a deep introspection and a time for gratitude, time to be grateful. So you can call the creator to help with these, to reconnect with the spirit, angels. We can use these natural medicines. We want to choose thoughts that support wholeness and oneness and well-being, and allow the darker thoughts to, you want them to appear as well, but we also want to simply observe them as they are, as shadowy aspects as they arrive in our conscience, and then dissolve them. So we don't want to ignore them. We want to, okay, negative thoughts are going to come. Shadowy thoughts are going to come. We want to accept them, see them as they are, and let them dissolve. So that way we don't like push it to the side and then it just keeps coming up and coming up. We don't want that. So we do want to deal with our shadowy thoughts. Somehow change them, like change them in your mind, and then see yourself as healed, see yourself as whole, as complete, see yourself as being loved and protected. It's funny, the other card you got was wind activation. So there's like various currents of wind. There could be like gentle breeze that could barely move a feather, or there could be like a freaking tornado that could wipe away a whole freaking town to nothing. So, and then again, with as lightning and thunder, we cannot control the wind. We cannot control that. So we have to know that when this wind blows the air, it circulates the atmosphere so that it's not stagnant. It also helps pollinate the flowers. Like when the wind blows, the pollen spreads, seeds spread. So it's very good for the environment. Like we need the wind. Know that the wind will activate you. Wind will activate us. So if we're feeling like lethargic or like very tired, this is a lack of activation. So something that we need something that stirs our senses, like aromatherapy or bright colors, the taste of something sweet or bitter, something. This is saying that action is needed. So it came right after the shaman. So action is needed when dealing with your spiritual wounds, deep healing, and everything natural, everything that's good for the earth. I also did your reading the same day as Pisces, and they talk about a lot about the earth magic and things of that nature. That would be helpful for maybe you to see. So this is like stepping out of your comfort zone to gain a different perspective. You could be seeking freedom and inspiration. All these lead back to finding life's purpose and finding authenticity and centering yourself. Getting back to soft love, affection, and acceptance. The angels love you. God loves you. You're loved, safe, protected, every step of the way. Make sure that we're like writing down, not just in our phones, neither, writing down like the things that we need, steps we need to take, like first this, second this, like plan out our days. You could also take a bath, a salt bath, and that stirs our senses. Anything to stir our senses is going to help this month. Listening to music, hug humans. We need that touch. Anything in that. So, this also, I picked a few from Vice Versa, and the Queen of Pentacles came up with this symbol, and the symbol kept on coming up. I'm like, what the heck is this symbol? Now, this symbol is a triangle with like a cross underneath of it. So the cross is here, and the triangles. Let's see if you can see that symbol. Now, this, I was looking it up, couldn't find it anywhere. Finally found it. This is the sign for sulfur. And here, I came up with the Traya Prima, which is the 3 primes, or the properties of alchemy. Now, or they also call this the triangle something or other. But this is the whole, like the basic thing is when 2 components come together to make a completely different component. One thing plus another thing equals a whole new thing. Like a mother, father, creating a baby, whatever. This has something to do with this. So, took a few notes here. In modern chemistry, you can't combine the elements of sulfur and mercury to make salt, but alchemy recognizes substances react to yield new products. So they say that sulfur is the fluid connecting the high and the low, and that was used to denote the expansive force like evaporation and dissolution. Mercury is like the omnipresent spirit of life, and can I redid this. Page 7, it says, continue on page 7. So, and they say that if you combined this, Mercury is believed to transcend the liquid and solid states. The belief carried over into other areas as Mercury was thought to transcend life and death and heaven and earth. Mercury also called quicksilver. And then salt, which was the base matter, and that represented the contractive forces, condensation, and crystallization. So, like, metaphorically speaking, the aspect of matter, sulfur is flammable, mercury is volatile, and then salt would be the solid. In alchemy, sulfur would be the fire, mercury would be the air, and salt would be the earth and the water. So, like divinity speaking, like access to realization. Okay, so like sulfur would be spiritual, mercury will be mental, and salt would be the physical. Like super ego, and ID. So, this has something to do with it. So maybe we need to, in order to do this, we need to take one part of one thing with another part of another thing, or that one thing completely with another whole thing to bring them together to make another new thing. So, yes, that's for Virgo. I'm trying to think anything else I gotta say. Oh, yes. Okay. So, when I was looking into this, like, mercury sulfur thing, I was looking at salt because I looked at them in my book and it's led me to mercury, sulfur, and salt is not in here. Salt is like you need chloride or chlorine. So chloride is salt, and in order chloride with chlorine with a negative charge ion of chlorine gives us chloride, and chloride creates salt. This is what I think. I think anyway. Don't um, quote me on this. But mercury. Deforming life sources hide behind Mercury's lustrous, undulating silver form. Arrested, enthralled, and invigorated by her seductive liquidity, we are easily drawn into her tormenting grasp. Hers is the lonely domain of destruction, lifeless and finite, a chilly siren's echo from the cosmos' earliest disturbance of eternity. And the words are destroyer, deceiver, warning, cheating, lubricious. That was for Mercury. This is for Sulfur. Regarded with mistrust for a good reason, Sulfur is an earthly, all too earthly spirit with a sickly alchemic aura. Coarse and not the least bit nostalgic, she is a progressive entity. At her most inventive, she is a brilliant organic collaborator, always in the highest demand, working her peculiar medicine into the very skin of the world. But in the wrong environment, with weak and greedy partners, she is thoughtlessly destructive, turning her medicine into a venom that erupts from the wind and rain and all its wealth and comfort, leaving a barren path of illness and mystery in her wake. A combination of restraint, respect, and understanding is needed to stand eye to eye with this powerful sorceress to create a lasting and beneficial relationship for all. And the words here are diva, temperamental, mercurial, changeable, passionate, and headstrong. So, sulfur, I would think, would come first before Mercury, because Mercury, we have this negativity and this, like, warning, cheating, like, this sense. Sulfur says that we would get this warning or this negativity if we would surround ourselves with in that environment. So you could be brilliant and attentive and like a organic collaborator when in the right environment. Whereas if it says that if you would change the environment and put you in the wrong environment with greedy people and like not like and selfish people, then we're going to be in a negative situation. So this all stems from what kind of environment you put yourself in. And then I wanted to look up the chloride, since that is the element in salt. Chlorine is 161. Let's look at 161. Chlorine. Starting from her existence, chlorine's dual nature, outwardly good but inwardly shockingly evil, has had to be conquered with sheer force. At one moment, she is elusive, sublime, with youth, with stainless mystical soul. The next, a vengeful demon, apprenticing in the dark of arts of death and destruction, a spiritual struggle that moves from blissful realms of purity to forbidden grounds of torment and loss. Which of these Spiraling natures is chlorine's true self, which will be the conqueror, as both twist within her, who will have the last backward glance before the final leave taking. So this just explains the battle that we're having in the spiritual sides of everything. And this just goes along with the rest of our reading here. Definitely something that we need to look into. And I wanted to do this one more. But I can't find it. I think chlorine makes... That's why I can't find it, because in order to make this element, you'd have to mix chlorine with a negative ion of itself to make chloride. So that's why I can't find chloride, because it's made from chlorine. So I know that I just read. So yes, definitely need to work on this. Be careful of our surroundings. We definitely want to use our senses and know that what's around us, like our content, like what we hear, what we take in, has got to come out. So make sure that it's positive. We're same thing. What we eat, it's got to come out. So make sure it's healthy, it's good. And yeah, while I was looking on this, definitely, I got into Ka or Ka, and that was the Egyptians' meaning for the word soul. And it stated how they believe we had like many parts of our souls, or many parts of the soul, like our personality is part. I'm recording. And I'll do more on that. I gotta do more information, more research on the soul and the Egyptians' belief for the soul, or maybe you can do that, but next month, Virgo. But I'm in need. So any questions, comment, but light and love to you, Virgo. Mwah. Love y'all.